Hello, and welcome back. Last time we left off... Jeez, what did we do last time? It's been so long, I honestly don't remember. It's been, man, like 2 weeks since I actually properly played this game. I was sick twice in a row, and that kind of benched me from streaming for a while. You can't tell, I still kind of am a little sick, but it's clearing up, so I figured, I might as well get the game over with. Because quite frankly, I am tired of playing this. I'm over it. I'm done with it. I've heard rumors that Shattered Space is supposed to come out soon, but I have a feeling that it's not going to. I heard a rumor that it was supposed to come out this month being February. I don't believe that. There's only like a couple of days left in the month. If anything, it might come out in March or at the very least April. Those are my guesses. If this month was supposed to be the initial release for it, because you got to keep in mind, Shattered Space was announced before this game even came out. So clearly they've been working on Shattered Space for some time, which makes me feel like Shattered Space is just cut content, the DLC, which is more than likely true. So I guess we'll see what it ends up being when it comes out. I'm assuming it's gonna be Varun stuff, but with a name like Shattered Space, it might be Starborn stuff? But I don't know. There's not enough to go off of, frankly. So here we are. Oh yes, I made a couple of new ships. I might as well show those off real quick.
Need some work done? Sure, have at it.
So I've been a little bit busy. So I made a Pelican. I think this is pretty good looking. It's about as good looking as a Pelican is going to get in this game. Like, the wings were the toughest part. I definitely used a guide for this one, specifically because I was trying to figure out how to do the wings. The wings confused me. Like, the top portion and the bottom portion, that part was easy. But when it got to the wings, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I looked up a guide. I followed it loosely, because there's a lot of adjustments that I made personally to the wings here that you'll probably notice very differently from the guide. Because I feel like these changes that I've made are a bit more accurate. And I'm going for more of a Halo 4 Pelican look. It's my least favorite Pelican, but I think this cockpit is like the best possible thing you could use for a Pelican. Unfortunately, that Pelican is the Halo 4 Pelican because it's got the more rounded features that the Halo 4 Pelican had. So that part kind of sucks, but I still think this looks really, really good. And I used the gunship that I had built before because I just didn't really like it all that much. I've made some slight changes to the Blackbird, but nothing super significant. Basically, I went through and modified all of my ships so that they could have a crew of 8. For the most part, anyway. Most of the ships were modified. I even modified Ghost Song, even though I have no intention of ever using it again. But I just kind of cleaned up the designs, as it were. I made the guns more built into the actual ship, or at least the machine guns are. Black Dog was the only one I didn't mess with, mostly because if I am doing a second playthrough of this game, I'd rather spend more time modifying my ships on that second playthrough than on this one, especially since we're coming so close to the end. But even then, I don't intend on doing the second playthrough right away. I really don't. Stairway was always 8, this was 9. Where's the other ship that I made? I made some significant adjustments to Astral Traveler. I made some significant adjustments to this because I took a look at the Twilight, which was the ship that I based this on, and I kind of realized, I was like, oh yeah, this looks nothing like that. So I kind of changed it a little bit. I made the left, or I mean, I guess the only wing, I made it ever so slightly different. I kept the big, like, turny turbine parts on the side there because I really like the way that looks, and I think it adds a lot to the ship. We've got this whole big engine port on the left side now. I moved that one engine on top of it so that it wasn't just kind of like sticking out to the side. I kept the engine in the middle there because I like the way it looks. Because if you look at the Twilight, it's just got like a handful of engines, and it's like got like a really big back loading dock, which this game doesn't really have an equivalent of, so I just kind of went with it. And of course, you can't put any fins on the bottom, so I just put it on the top and said, yeah, good enough. And it still serves its purpose as an unkillable machine, so that's always nice. Got the Razor Leaf, which I do believe I showed off before. Ah, this is it. The Rover. So this is my take on an upgraded Frontier. Or I shouldn't say an upgraded Frontier, it's more, and you can kind of see, well, if I didn't have Fortunate Son, but you can see the side-by-side. I wanted to make a... I took a look at the Frontier and I said, what would a bigger, more... fuller ship of this look like? Because the Frontier, I really do like the Frontier. I like that it is just a piece of junk, big machine that feels like it's barely held together. It feels old. It feels like an initial exploration vehicle. And I said, okay, how would I make this look like something with a full crew and still maintain that space shuttle-esque design, and keep it looking kind of like a junker at the same time? And this is what I came up with. I realized that the back fins on the engines there kind of really makes it look a little bit fancier. It almost looks like a Halo, like, what's that thing they flew in Halo 4? I don't even remember. Like a broadsword? That might be the wrong one. It was either a broadsword or a longsword. I can't remember. I think the longswords were in Reach and in CE, so it was probably a broadsword. But it kind of resembles that ever so slightly, but I wanted to make a ship that was big enough to have a large amount of crew. As you can see, 9 max capacity crew. And it also needed to be able to travel large distances, so that's why it's got a jump of 29. It's got a lot of guns on it. You can see the ballistics there is 111. I kind of went a little overboard with the ballistics, but I think it'll be fine. It is a C-class. It's got turrets. It's got particle cannons, the Vanguard ones, obviously. And it's got those Gauss turret machine guns, and I think it's only got the 2, as far as I can see. This is a glitched ship. Very, very obviously, there's a lot of glitched components. You can probably see right there, that middle landing gear is the Nova port lander. So it's got the exhaust right at the front there, which is fused into like several different parts. You've also got some landing gear fused into the bottom here. I know it's not what I wanted. I really didn't want this ship to be that fused. There were a couple of parts where I was like, yeah, fuse it, I don't care. Like with these wings here on the front. But I still really like the way it turned out, despite having a couple of fused pieces. It still maintains that Frontier-esque look. It's got the Frontier engines. It's got the... I did have to join them, but I think that's fine. The joint grav drive and reactor with the fuel on top, 4 engines on the side of it, cargo on the bottom of it, kind of same layout that the Frontier has. We've got 3 big cargo containers on the bottom. I think it's really nice, but we will end up using this later towards the end of the game. Right now we are going to stick with this thing, I do really, really like this. And you can see where all of the guns are fused. A lot of machine guns on this, with a couple of turrets. You got a turret at the front, because I do believe the Halo 4 Pelican did have a turret at the front, and I've got a turret fused in the back end here. Not exactly the cleanest edit I could have made, but, you know, you work with what you got. And it's honestly a pretty clean layout for this ship. There's not a whole lot in here, because there's, you know, it's a Pelican, there's very limited space. But we got living quarters right at the beginning, 4 bunks. I think this is the engineering. You got some cheeky little ports that you can look out the side of. Cockpit right up front here. And honestly, I do like this cockpit a lot. I do like how the jump seats aren't just jump seats, you know, they've got things they could be doing on them. But it is a small cockpit, but I honestly don't mind. I like it quite a bit. And, yeah, over here, we've got the rest of the ship, which is not a lot. Computer core, and battle stations? Or maybe that was the battle stations. Yeah, I think this is the battle stations. This is the computer core. Yeah.
Captain?
Pretty straightforward. Really not a lot going on with this ship.
What's best,
It is as bare bones as it gets, but the layout is not confusing or anything like that. Unfortunately, no workbench or anything like that. It's just, you got what you got. This is a drop ship. This is a troop transport. This is a war vessel. So you're gonna get what you get with it, which is not a lot. But boy, this thing, let me tell you,
And with that,
I love it.
our next adventure starts.
Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. I will reiterate, the best part, the only good part, and I can say that confidently, the only good part of this game is building the ships and seeing them out in the world. There's just something about that. That's the real magic. But it's a nice ship. It is a fun one. I do wish the engines turned with the movements you made, but, you know, you can't have it all. And those guns are crazy. And it's got missiles. Quite a few missiles. And, of course, this is a full ballistic vessel, by the way. There's no lasers or nothing, because that's what a Pelican has. Just machine guns and missiles. So, that's what you get. But anyway, enough about all of the bullshit that I've been doing off-screen, that I do regret not just streaming me building those ships, but most of the time it's just me by myself. And there's not really much more I can say about this game that hasn't already been said on this stream or on other live streams that I've done on my multiplayer channel. There's just not a whole lot left to say. You know, kind of done this game to death. But we've got a couple of things left to do, so we've got Power from Beyond selected. But there is one thing I want to check, because we found like 2 more pieces of evidence. I'm wondering if that's it. So we're gonna go check Burden of Proof real quick, just to see if that really is like end of the line for that quest. And yes, I did pick a couple of those up off screen. The only one I picked up off screen was from the lock, which is it is in the room that is right before the boss fight when you're on the lock. I don't know why it's in there.
Grav jump spinning down.
Logistically, it doesn't make any sense, but, you know. It is what it is. Jesus Christ!
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even
even smudge the paint.
Didn't even smudge the paint.
Be careful you do not track mud on the floors. You would not wish to tarnish this hospitable environment.
Oh, she doesn't like the UC. I also do want to take a look at the prisoners again, to see if there's anyone we may have missed.
They'll be talking about this battle in the history slates.
You have permission to speak freely.
The mission boards have been pretty active as of late. It's a good reminder the fleet are still out there.
I've got evidence for you now.
Excellent. Let me have it, and I'll upload it to our database.
So I've got, it looks like 3. I found this in the warden's office on the lock.
I'll be damned. So some of the UC guards at the lock helped touch off the riots. Everyone thought he was some kind of legendary criminal mastermind, but even the great Jasper Cricks needed a helping hand to get out of prison. Find anything else?
Got this hot tip that someone in the fleet is hoarding a shipment of stolen chunks.
A hot tip, huh? What kind of idiot would dig in their heels waiting for a massive payout on some of the cheapest food in the settled systems? I've seen some strange things on this assignment, but this definitely tops the list. I'll, pass it on to my superiors. I'm sure they'll get right on it. According to my superiors at MAST, we've provided them enough data to wrap up this portion of the operation and call it a success. You've brought us a mountain of evidence against the Crimson Fleet and uncovered some unexpected criminal activity. You've done a hell of a job.
Did we really make a difference?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. The brig is filled with prisoners waiting for trial. We've drained the Crimson Fleet's credits and solved a few mysteries along the way. I'd say that qualifies as making a difference.
Oh, I was just doing the right thing.
Oh? Well, I see we've rubbed up on you more than I expected. Anyway, here. I wanted to give you this. It isn't from Commander Akande or the UC. It's from me. It was my sidearm when I ran with the Crimson Fleet. Something special I paid a hell of a lot of money for. Now it's yours.
Oh, thank you. Well, now I feel bad I didn't get anything for you.
Not true. You gave me hope. That's the best present I could ever ask for.
Oh, well, okay.
All right, enough of this mushy nonsense. Time to get back to work.
Memento Mori. That's a decent
The
pistol.
mission board should provide you with any intel on fleet activity.
I still have one piece
Well
of
done.
evidence.
Let's see what you found.
Looks like Neva isn't finished with that base on Crete.
I have to hand it to Neva Mora. The lady's thorough. That facility on Crete still holds a good bit of valuable resources and equipment. All right, can't do much with this one except pass it over to the military. Hopefully they stop denying the base's existence and do something about it. That it?
Yep, looks like that's it.
Okay.
Gotta go.
Fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it.
And that's it.
We'll be here if you need us.
At ease,
Alright,
soldier.
burden of proof done. Which means we've got literally nothing else to do on this vessel. We are done with the Crimson Fleet. We are done with SysDef, totally. However, let's go talk to the prisoners. See, there might be a couple of things left to talk to. I think Delgado might be here now, finally. Because we talked to that guy. We talked to her. Yeah, she was very mad. Who's this? There's Delgado. Come over to the window, asshole. I want to talk to you.
Why are you here? Haven't you done enough already?
Curiosity, I suppose.
Is that what I've become to you? A curiosity? Do you have any idea what you've done? When you conspired with SysDef to steal Crix's legacy and attack the key, it wasn't an act of justice. It was an act of war.
Well, there's nothing you can do about that.
Perhaps not. But I can still state my reasoning. The Crimson Fleet staked a rightful claim to its territory, and the United Colonies violated that space in an attempt to conquer. The settled systems has quite a history when it comes to border disputes. Remember the Colony War? We have as much right to a piece of the galaxy as the UC, the Free Star Collective, even House Faroon.
And whatever happened to good old-fashioned piracy?
It's on the decline thanks to you. Piracy is everything. It's how the Crimson Fleet grows, how it feeds and breathes. It's our method of trade. If you think, for one moment, I'm suggesting we trade our guns for diplomatic forms and peace talks, you're sorely mistaken.
Well, you can't prey on everyone and expect no response.
If by preying you mean piracy, that's our method of survival. Despite what
Fucking
happened over
shut up.
Sumarov, the Crimson Fleet lives on. Perhaps not on the Key, but out there, in the Starfield. As we speak, I'm confident that there are remnants of our people making plans, targeting new ships, and preparing to raise mayhem. The Crimson Fleet isn't merely a collection of captains and ships. It's an ideal, a standard to live by. You can take away our home, destroy our ships, kill our people, but you'll never eliminate the ideal. And that is why all of you will ultimately lose!
You really expect the Crimson Fleet to be recognized as an interstellar power?
No, I don't. But it should. When Crix went after the Legacy, I strongly believe he saw a future where the Crimson Fleet could compete with the other powers of the settled systems. I wonder if he would have used that money to stake a claim to our part of the galaxy and allow us to eventually take over the others. I suppose we'll never know.
Enough, Delgado. It's over.
If you still believe that, then I've been wasting my words. Well, it's obvious we have little more to say to one another. You have your perspective, I have mine. Perhaps one day you'll have the same revelation about the Crimson Fleet that I have. And we'll be able to discuss future plans.
You realize you're gonna hang, right? Like, when there's no discussing anything with you after that. You'll be dead. Yeah, her we talked to. I don't even know who that is. I think Delgado was the only one we captured, right? Outside of, what's his name? The guy with the bomb in his chest. Yumi Komiko, yeah, we talked to her. Huh. Apparently, I guess we missed a bunch of people that we could have capped, but I don't know who or why, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know who else we could have captured. Because I was pretty thorough, or at least I thought I was, in terms of getting everybody. But yeah, I guess that's it for them. Rip.
You're the top gun on the ship.
Oh, and I did see. So a lot of people thought that Neva Mora was going to be saved for, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Perfect.
Okay. What are those? Are those the remains of Crimson Fleet ships?
Well,
I think they are.
okay, but I'd be a lot
Yeah,
better
those are
if...
Crimson Fleet ships, because they're
Let me guess, you'd be a
red
lot
and
better
black.
if you had a bigger book allowance.
You...
Shut up. I'm so sick of them talking all the time. Alright, Tachidana. Or sorry, Tidacha. Tachidana, what's that? Oh, that's from Star Wars, isn't it? Oh, well,
Know
luckily
me
it's
so
like
well,
right next
Dad.
to us.
So, what do you say?
But yeah. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by a bunch of dead men, a lot of people thought Navamora was going to be in the Shattered Space DLC because she just gets away.
Jump complete.
Turns out no.
Wanna do it again, just for fun?
She is a
No?
random chance grav jump appearance, similar to that one instance of the whatchamacallit appearing. I can't remember. There was some ship that shows up as a consequence of you killing someone's sister or something. I can't even remember the details of it. But it's similar to that, where it's just a random event that occurs, but because actually traveling from planet to planet is so infrequent, unless you're just scanning planets, you will never see Navamora, or you have a very low chance of ever seeing Navamora again. But I think you have the option to either talk her down or just kill her, and I will absolutely
Sight
kill
is
that bitch.
clear.
I just wish it could be more
Started.
personal than blowing her up in space, but I guess that's what she deserves. Look at this place. Wow, yeah, look at this place. Nice little planet. Ah, but we have to wear suits on it, of course. But yeah, Navamora is a random space encounter. I don't know why they didn't just have you kill her, you know, during the missions. I feel like that would have been more...
What does your scanner reveal?
more beneficial. Better for the story. Because they really make you hate Navamora throughout that entire quest. Like, she just treats you like dirt, and she never really warms up to you. She just consistently treats you like dirt. And I figured she would be, like, the first to go. And even if she's not the first to go, at least make her the last to go. But they don't even do that. You just don't even see her. She just gets away. And like, oh, that's disappointing. Because I'm pretty sure on the opposite side of things, if you were to try and, you know, kill the Sistef, I don't think Toft gets away. Or if she does, I don't know about it. But, I'm pretty sure you just go in there and kill everyone on the bridge. Like, that's it. You just wipe them. So it's kind of odd to me that Neva specifically gets away. Like, I don't know why they made that decision. Like, yeah, let's have the most insufferable character in the game, or at least one of the most insufferable characters in the game, get away so that you might never actually get the chance to kill her. Like, that's not satisfying. And I guess that just goes hand in hand with most of this game. It's just not satisfying. But I do find it quite funny that that's how that works. Like, yeah, she just shows up in a random space encounter, and then you blow her up. Like, oh, how very anticlimactic. I don't know why I pulled my gun out. It's not like we're gonna shoot anything in here. Omicron. Whoa! Let's see what's in there. What power awaits us now? And I was looking at the powers. There's still so many left to get. It's kind of crazy. Alright, where's the thing I gotta hit? Oh, it's right above me. also took the Mark I suit out of Sarah's death crate.
My people know nothing of this. Perhaps now is not the time, but someday they need to learn. Come, meet your death. And once again, we are triumphant.
Easy. Man, this planet's crazy. So before we do all this stuff, right, because like I said, we're missing a bunch of powers. So what did we just get? We had parallel self, void form. I think it was void form? I don't know. But invisibility, which is nice to have. So I'm assuming like every dot is a power. So we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think. Which is fucking crazy. So, we're just gonna go on a speed run and try to... Poisoning, huh? Okay. We're gonna go on a speed run and just try to catch as many as possible. So we're just gonna go back to Alpha Centauri real quick, and we're just gonna land at the lodge. Walk in and ask him, hey, you got any more of them planets? There's not really much else to do. Oh, I suppose I can talk to the companions. So I do now have max ship capacity, which means that I can have a new person on the ship every now and then. Every time we land on a planet, at least. And I think I brought Andromeda Kepler on board so we can have... Why am I still glowing? That's annoying. But yeah, I brought her on board so that we can actually have a conversation
Still
with her.
getting used to this place. Does not quite feel like home, but hopefully someday.
I do find it interesting that they talk during some of the transitionary loading screens.
Never regretted coming out of... Oh, sorry. Was just doing...
Temples?
Haven't made a match yet.
Really? Interesting. Huh. Okay, well, I guess what we will do instead is we'll go talk to Andromeda, wait for 24 hours, and then go back to Vladimir, because I'm assuming he's on, like, a cooldown or something. Where's the ship? There it is, all the way down there. Alright. Everyone's probably hanging out in the back.
I picked something up.
Or not. Maybe they're all hanging out on the bottom floor. I also like how the loading hasn't quite
Any new orders for
popped
me?
in yet. The lighting, I mean. Andromeda.
It's always good to
there
see
she
a friend.
is.
It's nice to see you.
Mind if I ask you some personal questions?
No, I don't mind at all.
How's your book coming along?
It's coming along brilliantly, Captain. Thank you for asking. Traveling with you has provided me some fascinating research material. As I've told you before, I believe you're the agent of a great destiny. Living so closely with you has helped shape my theories on fate in particular.
How much of it have you written so far?
Only bits and pieces of the first draft. I intend to compose the entire thing when I get too old to continue traveling. When that time comes, I'll retire to Avalon and spend my final years in scholarly pursuit at the homestead where I grew up.
Right. And how has living with me helped shape your theories?
You've helped me understand that fate and free will are deeply intertwined, and that there's room for both in my philosophy. You're an extremely good example of how someone with a cosmic destiny to fulfill can shape the future with conscious choices. I believe that the decisions made by people like you are capable of shaping the entire universe.
Well, I look forward to reading it someday.
I can't wait to hear what you think of it. Traveling closely with you has been a big inspiration to me. I have every intention of including you in it. I sincerely hope I can do your story justice. Enjoy your journey, Captain.
How are you today?
Well, that's it. That's boring as fuck.
Lost in my thoughts, but glad to be back.
Alright, let's sleep in a bed, actually. Whoops. Whoopsie poops. Where's the beds at? Can I not sleep in that bed? Sleep in this one. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna look up how exactly Vladimir works. Because I don't know. Yeah, so... did some reading. And this shit is terrible. So, basically, the quest either is effectively automatically added to your inventory journal, I think, whenever you enter the lodge, after a certain amount of time, or you can skip it entirely by entering the system that the anomaly is on, that the temple is on. I've been to
I find comfort in the idea that the odds of something killing us here are at an all-time low.
And I don't know
Spend so much
where
time looking
or
at the
how.
scans. I can see. Oh, sore. Sorry.
I always enjoy these
Bruh.
moments.
Okay, so I guess what we're gonna do, and this sucks, but I guess we're just gonna go to systems we haven't been to yet. Because we've been to a lot of systems, and it hasn't triggered. We've been to a lot of systems, and it hasn't triggered. So, there's still a bunch of systems that we haven't been to yet. Particularly on the right side of the map, but I honestly don't see how it's possible that we've missed these, but we're just gonna start jumping to planets or systems specifically, seeing what we can find. And yeah, this sucks. This is terrible, because I think a lot of that is actually randomly generated. At least from what I'm seeing. Yeah, hold on. Wow. So doing some reading, it turns out that there is a no temple bug. That's not what I've run into, thankfully. But knowing that now is terrifying, so effectively, Power from Beyond quest bug, no waypoint, no scanner anomaly site to land on, no distortions, no temple. 18 days ago it says, still bugged. Let me try going to some places that people are referencing. Because there's some places that people are referencing, like, there's some places that I just haven't even been to. Skink is one of them, I think. No, I have been here. Was it recently? It must have been recently if I did one of these. Let's jump there real quick just in case. Because I'm assuming that all of those locations are, like, genuinely, like, procedurally generated.
Our daring voyage in the oceans of space brings us here.
Unless I've already gotten the anomaly here. But I didn't see one. Scanning it does nothing, which tells me that there's nothing here. Someone else said Dionysus. I've already been here. We'll set course again just to see if anything shows up.
I love the feeling after a perfect
Oh, did we just jump into a fight? Yes. I've been waiting for this, though. I have not actually tested this ship out in combat yet, so I am quite excited to actually get the chance to do so.
Yes!
Wow, those missiles slap.
The Freestar Collective owes you, stranger. We really showed those Faroon zealots who most ships would have bugged out and left. Any way we can repay you?
Give me some ship parts, please.
Done. You take care.
Yeah, this thing slaps. Dionysus, so... Not seeing any anomaly here. So, not really sure what I'm supposed to do about that. Power from beyond randomly popping up. Yeah. I don't know. Shit's just not appearing for me. This is crazy. So I'm reading more into this, and this is like a massively prevalent problem. Like, there's a lot of people that go through their whole playthroughs and just never get all the powers. And I mean, that's not to say that, like, people haven't played Skyrim and finished the main story before they get all the power. That's totally normal. What I'm saying is, they just can't, they literally physically cannot get all the powers because some of that shit is locked away from them. And that's not just saying, like, oh, if Barrett dies, you miss out on duplicate yourself clone ability. No, I mean just, like, people are getting stuck at 22 out of 24, like, they are always missing 2. Which is fascinating to me. That one of the big parts of the game, that being dragon shouts, I'm not calling them Starborn powers, they're just fucking dragon shouts. One of the big part of the game is broken. And has gone unfixed for 5 months now? Oh wow, look at this. For some reason, it's either a bug or by design. Vlad will only dispense 10 more power quests after he moves to the lodge. This isn't written anywhere. If you waited until the end of the story and tried to do all the power quests at once, you missed out on a lot of powers. You really have to do the powers piecemeal each time you get an artifact. Unfortunately, all you can do is move on to the next New Game Plus. Well, that's gay as shit. So wait, how many am I missing? I'm missing 11, right? If I were to go... Come on, autosave, there we go. So I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm missing 11. But right here it says 2 undiscovered temples. The fuck does that mean? Does that mean I only get 2? What does this mean? What is that? I don't even know. I don't even know. But we're just gonna do final glimpses. Because I don't even know what to say to that. That's crazy. So we're just gonna get this one out of the way. That is wild. I don't even know why. Like, just why?